Nice Boxing with boy Melson. Boy, we're here to talk to you about your boxing background and how you've come this far. So tell us, how did you get started in boxing?
I started at the age of 18, not being trained. I got thrown into a gym class at West Point, where I went to college, the United States Military Academy. It's a mandatory gym class in your freshman year, which is known as your plebe year there. And it's a graduation requirement. I took the course first semester. It's a half semester long course. I took it first half of my first semester, so right off the bat after I finished that basic training. And the purpose of that class is not aimed at teaching you to be some type of elite boxer, not even a good boxer, not even an average boxer. It's teaching you the most important thing as an Army officer and a leader who is going down the road to be leading troops in battle, or leading them anywhere. How to face your fears and only rely on yourself when you only have yourself to rely on. So that course has 4 graded bouts at the end, and what I appreciate about that course is that it sticks true to what its purpose is. It's a graduation requirement, and you get a better grade if you jab, if you cross, throw a hook the right way. But they'll pass you as long as you don't turn your head when the pressure comes and allow somebody to beat them. I have so many classmates. There were 4 graded bouts. They had 3 Fs because every time the pressure came on, they turned their head looking for a way out, and the punches came. And I saw those same classmates after the instructor spoke to them. These instructors are Army officers rotating back in to teach at West Point, saying to them, you have to pass this class to graduate. I'm not going to pass you unless you do the most important thing here, and that's stand up for yourself. And that's all I want. And standing up for yourself means when you get that pressure, you face it. You have nobody else but yourself to face it. So participated in that course. Then we had intramurals. I signed up for basketball. It's my favorite sport in the world. I was forced to do boxing. I was forced to box with our intramural boxing team. We ended up winning the school championships. Now mind you, West Point is comprised about 60 to 80% of the students play varsity sports. So everybody that wasn't good enough to play a D1 sport is trying to prove themselves in intramurals. It's extraordinarily competitive. Putting that out there. So we won the school championship. I started building up a little name for myself as a freshman, which is rare there because you're invisible as a freshman, I believe. And they have an annual tournament every year. It's a small course called the Brigade Open, and I was going to talk into / coerced into joining and signing up. The weight class and members of the intercollegiate boxing team participate in that tournament. They usually sweep whatever weight class you're in. And the weight class I was in, the captain of the boxing team was a first was in that weight class. And first are called seniors. Seniors are first. There's a big clash there between freshmen and seniors, you can imagine. That's the purpose of the school. So I saw my first match, I stopped the guy. Second match, I faced the guy on the team. He was second seed first weight class, I stopped him. And the final was the captain of the boxing team. He had boxed before he went there. He boxed at collegiate nationals before, was a sports girl on the team. I had never boxed, I was never trained. The only boxing I had was clean boxing and then intramurals. And he talked a lot of smack to my fellow classmates that morning about come to the gate open tonight to watch me whoop up on your plebe classmate's butt. And I ended up stopping him in the 3rd round. And
how gratifying was that feeling for you? How did that make you feel, knowing that you overcame the urge to defeat him?
I didn't know how good he was or how bad he was, so I didn't know where he stood compared to the competition. I was told what he did, but I didn't know what. I don't know. A lot of times when I achieve things, I think that I'm starting to learn as I'm getting a little older. When I look back and I realize what I did, not having experience, and being able to carry something up, or having experience and still being able to achieve the merit, the more of the merit behind it, I give that merit to it. But while I'm doing it, since I expect myself to be able to achieve certain things, I don't think it's anything great. I'm just like, all right, I did it. That's what. I always say, Superman's not brave. Superman's invincible. The person who's So if he does it, he's supposed to be doing it. He's supposed to be fighting these things. You don't say you're brave or whatever. If he cowered, then there'd be a problem. And so, I'm not saying I'm Superman, but if it's something that I expect myself to be able to do and I achieve it, it's my life. But now in hindsight a little bit, as I've learned more about boxing, it's pretty neat that I was able to achieve that. So then they asked me to come out on the team next year, and I faced a guy from Navy in the finals, so it was Army versus Navy, in the Collegiate Nationals, and I won the Collegiate National title. And at that level, they would be considered average open fighters in regular USA boxing. Nothing significant. But when they asked me to come out on the team, I was not ignorant to boxing. I thought those were the Olympians, the collegiate boxers. I had many reservations. You guys are crazy, I'm not doing this. I ended up doing it, and then I was successful. And then at the end of my senior year, or in the early part of my senior year, I found out there's a program in the Army called the Army World Class Athlete Program. And that's a program where there's a unit in the Army designated towards preparing and training their athletes who they deem as Olympic hopefuls. And then your job year-round is to train and compete in that sport. The actual mission, if you're in the Army, qualified for the Olympic team. So I flew on down there during my senior year. I auditioned by sparring with a guy named Melson, who had just won the U.S. Championships at 147 pounds. And that was right before they moved it to 152. I sparred with him. I did well the first 2 rounds. He handed me my butt the last round. I had certain things that I was good at. They were limited, so I did what I was good at. And then I got gassed in that last round with that mile-high altitude. The coach after, Coach Abdullah, he was an Olympic coach for 2000, and then 2004 he was the head coach, and that was leading into 2004, and then he ended up being a coach again on the 08 team, so he had a world of experience. So he looked at me and he said, you know, you're good enough for the All-Army tournament, which is a tournament where the general population of soldiers sign up, they go to a camp, they compete, the winner moves on to the armed forces, and they go to the U.S. Championships, they go back to the unit. But the world-class athlete boxers box in that tournament as well, and they sweep it all the time. There's never been an athlete who was, before I came, this game away, but there's never an athlete through the time I was there that had beaten a world-class athlete program boxer. So they said I was good enough for All-Army, but not the program. That information was given back to West Point. They made concessions so I could stay at West Point instead of attending Army Field Artillery Officer basic course after graduation, like all my classmates did. I taught freshman year boxing. That was unprecedented. Someone just graduating, but I was extremely grateful, and I was extremely grateful. I went to the All-Army tournament. I ended up facing that guy in the final. I beat him that night. It was my night. He was a better boxer than I was at that moment, but I was successful. I overcame at that moment his increased abilities over mine. And then I went to the Armed Forces Championships. I was successful there. I went to the Olympic trials. It was double elimination. Got my tail handed to me both fights. I lost Edward Joseph and Austin Trout. And then I went to the officer basic course right after. Coach Abdullah told me he was going to bring me on into the program following my performance at the Olympic trials. Even though I lost, I was competitive. And so I went to the Field Artillery basic course. There was a world tournament coming up after that called the World Military Games. And you had a lot of guys coming back from Athens, Greece for that competition. Coach Abdullah didn't want to let me compete there. He told me for 2 things. He said, you're at an Army school right now. Nobody ever comes out of a school in shape. You're not going to have any training there. And second, these aren't even the Olympic trials. These are Olympians. And I said, I earned it. I'm going to thank you for telling me I'm not going to be in shape. That's what I wanted to hear. I'm taking this slot. So it was a 4.5-month school in Oklahoma during the summer. All they had was a heavy bag there. I chained myself to that heavy bag for the last 2 months. I stopped going out with my buddies. During PT in the morning, my commander let me put plastics on. I was running, I was doing everything I could. I lost 16 pounds there. I showed up 4 pounds overweight, and I just stuck as a coach. And then when I went to this world military tournament, there were 20-something athletes that had just come back from Athens, Greece, and I had 7 matches outside of college going into this. I was semi-final, but I was successful. I found out afterwards that I had beaten an Olympian from Morocco, a Moroccan Olympian. And then in the finals, I was facing the guy from Uzbekistan, that had just won the do. He didn't want to let me box it. And then I took on from there. I ended up qualifying for the U.S. National team every year that was boxing. And I placed second in the U.S. championships. Fourth, I earned a bronze one year losing to Danny Jacobs, and then earned a silver another year losing to Demetrius Andre in the final, beating Keith Herman to get there. I beat Keith, Charles Hatley to get to the world championships in 05. I lost to Eroslan Lara in the quarters, placed to get there. And I had some physical challenges, had some procedures, slowed me down. It never really was the same after that. I ended up being offered an alternate slot at the 2008 Olympic team. And I lost to Keith and Hatley at the trials, two guys I beat before. I was given a slot. I went to India, re-injured myself, gave up my slot, and now it's my amateur background.
So, after your amateur background, you left boxing for a while then?
Left for 3 years. I was done. I thought I was done. In my mind, I was done. My friend Kristen kept telling me, I used to argue with her saying I'm done. She kept saying, I don't believe boxing was done in your life. She rubs that in sometimes now. And I worked in the corporate sector. I started doing medical device sales. It was a tough transition straight out of the military, straight out of boxing for me. I was with them for a short time, came back to New York. It was in a tough spot in my life because I was not working. I started work as a personal trainer, looking at a skill set to earn money. And when I left active duty, I immediately transitioned into the Army Reserve, so I was doing that and earning money off of that, and still serving my country. And I just started getting sad. I didn't know why. You know, it was tough. I was always achieving at a pretty high level, where I went to college, and then what I was doing afterwards, trying to make the Olympic team. I earned my MBA while I was doing that, and I didn't know why I was sad. As I was doing personal training, of course, I was working people out in boxing. Brought me here, I was training people, and one day I decided to get in and spar with one of my current coach, Coach Joey Gamache, one of his pros. He did very well. I hadn't been in the ring for 2 years, and I don't know how I had the gas to do it, but I did it. He approached me after and said, hey boy, you got some skills, kid. What do you think? You want to box pro? You want to box doing that acting? You want to box pro? I was like, oh, coach, I just got no, and then I decided, we're in a recession. I need to get back in the corporate sector of working. Those benefits that they offer, salary. So I started interviewing again. I was fortunate enough to earn a job with a division of Johnson & Johnson called Ethicon. Give a shout out to the new CEO of J&J, taking over April 26th. His name is Alex Gorski. He's my life at the moment I was in when I stopped boxing, and I was feeling my sadness. I started remembering when I was most happy and what I was doing. And what I was doing was boxing and helping get this word out about spinal cord injuries. Well, I started thinking more about this offer coach was giving me, and to make life more difficult for myself, I earned a position with Ethicon from J&J. I was about to start, so I was about to have a 9-to-5 daily corporate job. And I had called Kristen up and I said, I don't know what to do. I'm being offered this right now. And to give more backstory, one of the circles I got put involved with was through with a doctor named Dr. Wise Young and Dr. Patricia Morton. Patricia Morton's a PhD and Dr. Wise Young is an MD. And they're at Rutgers University. And Dr. Wise Young was named in 2005 as America's best in spinal cord injury. He was Christopher Reeve's advisor when he hurt himself. He's been on Larry King many times. I mean, he's Muhammad Ali of spinal cord injuries. And Muhammad Ali in boxing is one of the doctors in spinal cord injuries. And I started learning more, and he talked about he's been working for years and years to get a clinical trial together using cells from the umbilical cord, taken from the umbilical cord after birth, because all his research and data was showing that it's the most promising to help regenerate the spinal cord, grow back the nerves, regrow the nerves, and he was slowed down because of the way our politics were in the country, even though they are adult stem cells. And now with the change in regime in our presidency around 2008, kind of picking up momentum. And he was looking for donations publicly. And he started, because nobody was going to fund this, we were in a heavy recession at that time, so he created a nonprofit 501c3 called JustADollarPlease.org. And that's the website, www.JustADollarPlease.org. And asking everybody to please give $1. So his vision involves 6 different centers, 20 patients each, $100,000 per patient. It's going to tell us the hospital cost, and 3 months of therapy after. The first location is in Brackenridge Hospital in Austin, Texas, and that's $2 million what they need. So I know he was raising these funds, and I said, you know, when I was an amateur, I was drawing attention because being successful in the ring was the first component of drawing attention. All my demographics afterwards drew more attention, being light-skinned. I throw out my father saying I'm mixed with black and white. My father's Creole, Louisiana Creole, so African, French, and American. My mother's Israeli, she's born in Israel. My parents are Polish, so they're really Polish. And I drew attention when people wanted to interview me because I stuck out. So I said, you know, I think the same thing can happen in professional boxing. If I keep winning and I'm successful, I have a voice, I have a message, I love to speak, I'm passionate about it. My actual dream job is to be a motivational speaker for spinal cord injuries. Spinal cord, but then anything for people suffering. And I said, you know, I brought this to Kristen's attention. She knows me very well, and she knows my favorite book is The Alchemist. And in that book they talk about if you stay true to your personal legend, be in your heart, live and follow through with it, the universe will conspire to bring you what your personal legend is seeking out. So when I said I don't know what to do, we're in a recession, I have this job, I don't want to sacrifice losing this job. She said, well, you know what your personal legend is. And she was there with a punch in the face and said, you know, you're a real jackass. You know, now I'm going to say yes, because you know that I know this, and of course you're going to be real with me because you know me, and I'm kind of hoping for you to say, no, don't do it, even though I really want you to say yes. So I told Coach yes, and then I decided, you know, if I donate my purses through every fight, that should draw more attention, plus the trial needs it, and then my incredible company, Johnson & Johnson, matches whatever I donate up to 10,000 of my dollars in a 365-day period. They double it. I'm sorry, they triple it by matching it 2 to 1. So they've been doing that consecutively. I've given every purse. I'm not giving this purse, however, one of my childhood friends, I just found out about 2 weeks ago, his 3-year-old was diagnosed with brain cancer in December. He's one of my best friends from childhood, the biggest teddy bear in the world. It hit me very hard, very, very hard. And yeah, I ran, they called him on the phone, they're doing all these fundraisers because they're having trouble with their bills now themselves because they're out of work. I mean, they're missing work to be with their son, so I was like, you know, you can have this whenever I'm earning it or you need it. I'm sorry to the spinal cord injury world for this fight not going, but I gotta take care of him first with this. So that's what I did. So that's how it's been going on. I've been donating my purses. Fortunate enough to speak in the ring. After most of my fights, Lou Delen on his cards lets me speak when he can. Talk about land boxing. I might try